Hey everyone! So, we are now in February of 2014. Woo! Ha! See what I did there? It's not 2014, it's 2015. I just woke up and decided to make a video, so my synapses aren't firing on all the cylinders right now, so. But no. Yeah, so we're already 2 months into the new year, and I really haven't begun working on some of the things that I had wanted to try to get done this year. But you know, I still have what is it, 10 more months to really get everything situated. But lately I've just been in a really good place, emotionally, spiritually, just everything seems to be coming together right now, and I'm really just happy for the first time in a long time. I'm still dealing with the depression and the bipolar and all this other stuff, and the other night I was like hyper emotional, like everything I was watching on TV was making me cry, and I was just in one of those like manic modes where I just needed to, I guess, boo-hoo it out. So, but you know, for the most part, I'm in a really good place. My creative spark is back. I've been doing a lot of just little artsy crafty projects here and there, and I'll post a couple of pictures. I'm also thinking about writing a blog about it. Anyways, so yeah, a lot of stuff has happened in the last couple of days or weeks. I don't know how long it's been since I've done another video. I'm gonna try to like be more regular, at least put it out 2 to 3 videos a month, maybe more, as things come up that I just need to get off my chest, or any number of different reasons. But yeah, it's been a really good place for me lately. So I had something kind of interesting happen to me yesterday that kind of made me chuckle to myself, and it, in a couple of my videos, or you may have read about me just complaining about the fact that there's no customer service anymore. And yesterday I was like done with customer service. I went to Safeway and I was looking for some onion buns. I had pulled pork for dinner last night, and I thought, you know, it would be really good on a onion bun, but I only had enough meat for like maybe 2 sandwiches, and I didn't want to buy an 8-pack of these buns just because I didn't know when the next time I was going to be able to use them. So I went to the bakery and I'm like, hey, do you guys have any, you know, onion buns or anything that has a really good strong onion flavor to it? And instinctively the bakery lady wanted to take me over and show me the hamburger buns, and I'm like, no, I've already looked at the hamburger buns, it's not really what I want. Do you have anything like those though, but just like maybe in the bulk area, like 1 or 2? And so she just went above, beyond, over the top, into the next galaxy with customer service. And it was like, dude, calm down. Are you being paid a commission? Or, I just mean, she's like, oh, have you found everything that you need? Oh, let me help you with this, let me help you with that. Oh, well, this is da da da, and just kept going and going and going and going. And eventually I started feeling like I was being ear raped with kindness. And I know it's a stupid thing to just be kind of annoyed over, but at what point do you stop and just say, lady, listen, thank you for your help, but you're doing too much. So, um, that had me kind of chuckling to myself because I was thinking, here I was not even a few days ago kind of bitching and griping about the fact that um, customer service was dead in America and that you could barely get it anywhere anymore. And here this lady is just trying to be overly helpful, but it's coming across as like too much. So I honestly don't know what the answer is. For me personally, when I did work customer service, I always did like a 50-50. And even at that 50-50 though, it's like I would give extreme customer service, but it wouldn't be like over the top unless that's what I needed to do for that particular customer. And so another thing that I learned to do was like a 60-40 in conversation, where you just kind of like shut up, let the person talk, you process it, and then you give back a little bit, let them talk, give back a little bit, let them talk. So I don't know, it just boils down to people skills, really, being able to assess the person regardless if they're happy or pissed off, whatever the situation may be. Just looking at the person like, okay, well, this is how I have to handle this person. And some people don't want you to be very personal or personable and like just directly yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, no ma'am, let me show this to you. Other people want you to be on their level. Hey, what's up, how you doing, let me show you this over here. You know what, I think this is exactly what you're looking for. Oh man, that dress brings out your eyes, it slenders your hips, it does this, that, or the so it's really kind of like a happy medium balancing act, just trying to figure out how to really just relate to the person in front of you. And so yesterday I will applaud her for the fact that she was over the top with her customer service, but she also needed to scale it back by 100. She was at like 360,000. Let's bring it back down to 350,000, or maybe even down to 100% range. But it was refreshing to have that level of customer service where she was genuinely interested in what I was trying to find. Even though it was just in a grocery store, it's still nice to have that kind of personable touch, because honestly, without it, you don't have customers. So that was kind of fun, and like gave me a different perspective of how things are, and being kind of jaded to the way that the world is nowadays, you automatically expect people to be kind of a rude asshole to you for absolutely no reason. Hey, what time is it? Hey, go fuck yourself. That's the kind of thing that it's just like, when did we actually get here as a society? There's times where I wish that we still had a lot of the values of the 1950s and the 1960s, maybe some of the 40s, with today's technology, and the things that we have available to us today. I'm not necessarily meaning, let's throw women back in the kitchen and take away equal rights and civil rights and everything else, and put African Americans, blacks, coloreds, whatever you want to call them, back on the chain gang, and they can only be maids, and segregation and all that. No, I'm not talking about all that. I'm just talking about the core values of like how things were ran. how business owners took pride in their business. Even some of the like commercial companies, how they took pride in their business and how it was all about the customer and it was about family and it was about wholesomeness. And even that to a certain extent, it would be nice to have that back. Like, I'm not talking everything extremely censored and Joan Cleaver and stuff like that. No, I'm talking, just having those core belief systems re-established and reintegrated into our lives and into society as a general. I mean, I believe if we had mutual love and respect for everyone, that society would be a lot better. There, sure, we still had a lot of negative stereotypes and racism, and to a certain extent, racism is still alive and well today. So it's just been kind of interesting to really get into that kind of critical thinking that little interaction put me on. And sorry, I'm getting a text message or instant message. So yeah, it would be nice to have that kind of societal standards back without like some of the backwards thinking that the people from that time period had. Living where I do live, we still have a ton of hippies. Like, I'm talking old school, helped put Woodstock together, not just went but put Woodstock together and did the marching and robbering type hippies in my community. And their way of life is actually becoming my way of life as well. I'm from Southern California, where, it's the land of glitz and glamour and going to Hollywood on the weekends and partying, or going out to Palm Springs, hanging out and partying, and having to wear name brand labels and do this, that, and the other thing, and blah, 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 hoota, hoota, all the way down the line, keeping up with the Joneses. I move up here to Washington, where it's kind of like modern day Stone Age. The town that I live in, we only have 2 fast food places. That's Subway and McDonald's. No big commerce except for Quality Food Centers and our QFC and Safeway. Those are like the 2 major shopping places here in town. Everything else is mom and pop and small business, which I love the small business aspect of it, because it really is what the American dream was, and I guess still kind of is to have your 2.5 kids, own a business, work, do whatever. But in the hippie aspect of everything, you have your community. You actually have a community. It's not like in California where you really don't know your neighbors, or you're really scared to do anything with the people next door or anything like that. Here, you actually have a community where people come together and help each other. And we have pages on web or on Facebook about there's one called Buy Nothing, and the whole premise behind that is, if somebody has a need and you have it in your life, and it won't make that big of a difference if you pass it on, that's what you do. You pass it to that next person free of charge. So it's kind of like a huge community of pay it forward. And we also have FreeCycle here, which FreeCycle is a nationwide thing, and if you haven't heard of FreeCycle, it's kind of like Craigslist, and I'm praying to God that you know what Craigslist is. But anyways, FreeCycle, you post whatever it is that you have or that you need, and then people respond to it saying, you know, I would like this, or I have this, and would you like to do this? And bartering is a really big thing up here. So the other day, a friend of mine bartered a cord of wood for for like car work. So the person got $200 worth of wood, and my friend got $500 worth of car repair. Doesn't seem like a fair trade across the board, but you know, it's all about fulfilling needs. The person needed wood and didn't have the money to get the wood. My friend had the wood but needed car worked on. There you go. Supply and demand. So it's just interesting how the community up here works. And up until just recently, we even had what was locally known as the Free Store. And basically what that was a building that you would go to, and everything was donated in there, and a very few items were priced. And so you had everything from books, toys, and games to small appliances like lamps, computers, and when I'm saying computers, I'm not like, oh my god, the best gaming system in the universe, but you know, computers that are old, like Windows 95, 98, XP, older Macintoshes, that type of computer system, that instead of going to a landfill, would be a really good first computer for a child or somebody learning to just work a computer. But yeah, there would be beds in there from time to time, household furnishings, then clothes, of course, tons and tons of clothes. Mainly women's clothing, some men's clothing, but like I would say 78% of the store was women's clothing, because, well, let's face it, guys will wear something until it's just the collar and nothing else, and women, they like trade that shit off like, well, something that's tradable. But yeah, so I used to go there a lot, and as a matter of fact, my entire house is furnished from the Free Store, Craigslist, and FreeCycle. I very seldom pay out of pocket for something that I need or want for my house. If I see a need or a want for it, I will go on one of those websites and say, hey, this is what I need, and this is what I have to offer for it. Or, you know, sometimes it'll just be one-sided, hey, this is what I need, what can you provide? I did that a couple of times with, back when I had a vehicle available to me, I got a stand-up freezer for free just because the person upgraded theirs and no longer wanted the one that they had. So, brought it home and works perfect, nothing wrong with it except for a little bit of rust on the front of the door. But, yeah. I think in the last 6 months, I've maybe spent $15 total on home furnishings. Like the desk that I'm working on right now, it's a beautiful desk, or at least in my opinion, it's beautiful. It's glass top, and it's got like this little shelf over here for like a printer or something. Um, it was bought at IKEA, so you know it was probably $80 to $150. Got it for free because it couldn't be sold, and it was actually kind of amazing how this came into my life. I was helping a local organization, the Band Boosters Association for the high school and junior high. They had a yard sale last year during the summer, and this desk actually happened to be part of that yard sale, and I fell in love with the desk at the time. I just didn't have the money to pay for it, and so I kind of had to let it go. And then there's a thrift store across the street, literally like a house over from me. I'm looking at the parking lot for it right now. That's how close it is. It's like my house, my neighbors, that. So that little thrift store inherited it, and it didn't sell for them, so they ended up putting a free sign on it. And as soon as I saw them stick that free sign on it, I walked over there, grabbed it, and brought it home. So I feel like it was meant for me at that point, and that's kind of how I started living my life. Is I put out into the universe my need and my intent, and I never ask for more in a like greedy sort of way. I always ask, this is what I need. Whatever can be provided to me is a gift I will accept. And so, having lived that philosophy, it really just kind of puts things in perspective for me, because yeah, you know, I don't need something that's brand new as long as the used item I'm getting is functional. Does that say that I don't want new things? Oh, of course not. You know, I would love to have new items, but I was raised by my grandmother going to yard sales every weekend, like clockwork. That's what we did. Saturday morning, 7 a.m., I was over at her house eating breakfast. By 8 o'clock, we were on the road hitting up all the yard sales in the three little areas that I lived in. And so I'm used to digging through boxes and haggling and finding that perfect little trinket or whatever. And that stems from her growing up during the Depression and not having money or having the resources to go out and purchase new items all the time. So I learned how to repurpose a lot of things. I learned how to just be thankful for whatever was given to me. You know, regardless, you should always be thankful for a gift, because somebody's thinking of you when they got that, and or like, you know, whatever. It's just something that they decided to give you. So that's how I was raised. Someone gives you something, you graciously take it, even if you really don't want it, but you take it to make that person feel good about themselves. And then maybe later on, just because you have it, you can pass it on to someone else. I know that sounds like hoarding by today's standards, but in a way, it was just part of that communal living that I was talking about earlier, that my grandmother was privy to growing up. Everyone band together and kind of helped themselves as well as the people next door. And so that's kind of how I'm starting to live my life, is trying to reciprocate as much as possible. You do this for me, and I do this for you. But it's not an expected exchange of doing. It's just how it kind of folds out. So anyways, this really isn't the topic that I wanted this video to go in. So it's actually kind of turned into more of a rant about customer service and community than what I was originally going to talk about. But hey, you know what? I don't script anything that I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I'll put like a little note down, say, hey, you know, cover this or that. So, you know, what are your thoughts on it? Leave me some comments, questions, or whatever. And I also just wanted to give a shout out to a couple of, well, to all my viewers, really. You know, thank you for taking your time out and listening to my videos and listening to my long-winded soapbox rants and stuff like that. It really does make me feel good to receive comments and questions and concerns and whatever else from people. And you know, I try to get back to everyone who sends me something. It may not be the same day, but I do my best to get back and just, you know, make sure that you understand that yes, I do see and read every single comment that comes across, no matter how asinine or how demeaning or how uplifting it is. I still read them, and there's a lot that I don't allow up on my website or up on the comments. Like if somebody is just being a complete douchebag, I'll delete their comments and block them from the channel. I mean, you know, the whole reason I started this mainly was because I needed a way to get things off my chest, even if it helped no one else. I just needed to talk. And so I found that by putting these videos up, I was not only kind of exposing myself and opening myself up to even more ridicule and being attacked, but a lot of people have come to me, hey Michael, you know, thank you for putting that video up. You know, I just didn't feel comfortable saying anything in the open in comments because, you know, I really don't want things taken out of context, or I don't want to be harassed or bullied, blah blah blah. And you know what? That's what these videos are for. It's for the people who may be experiencing the same exact thing that I'm going through. I don't know, but you know, I'm gonna continue making these videos and hopefully they help people. If not, well, it's helping me. That's the whole reason I started this video channel and the blog. The blog was created as a way for me to just get things out in a literary form, and to also, when it first started, it was a way for me to get things off my chest, and it was also supposed to be a whole blog about diabetes and weight loss and everything else. And you know, in the very early beginnings of the blog, that's exactly what it was. But now it's just kind of become this evolving catch-all where I do product reviews and I do personal updates, and there's stuff that I put on the blog that I don't put here, and vice versa. So, you know, that's kind of how I allowed the evolution of both my YouTube channel and my blog to go up. You know, I allowed it to take its own course. For the longest time there, I was doing nothing but product reviews on my blog because, well, I was getting a little bit of money kicked back to me, like between $5 and $20 per post, and a lot of times the companies would just send me out the product that I was reviewing, and that helped out really well too. So yeah, but please continue to send me your comments, questions, and concerns. I really do appreciate it. I really do read them. And if you have a topic that you would like for me to cover in a video one of these days, by all means, feel free to, send me an email and say, hey, Michael, can you cover this? And if it's something that I have knowledge over, then, definitely I'll cover it. I've noticed that a lot of the couple of videos that I really get a lot of hits on are about my Social Security and disability, about low-income housing, and there's another one, about my experience at an AA meeting. I always get like tons of hits on those videos. Excuse me. So, if there's something that you want me to cover, by all means, ask me. But anyways, I'm gonna let you go now. I've been yammering on for over 30 minutes. So check out the blog. It's www.hellocupcakeitsme.com. And if you like the video, please click subscribe and leave me some comments, questions, concerns. You can email me also at hellocupcakeitsme@gmail.com, and follow me on Twitter, or my Twitter is hellocupcake4 and the letter U. Or if you want to follow all my social media, which spans across Facebook and Instagram and a few other places, send a text message to 40404, and in the message part of it put follow space at the little at symbol Hello Cupcake for you, and that will automatically subscribe you to my SMN. And so whenever I update any of my social media, you'll get a text message, hey, Hello Cupcake for you has updated. So yeah, anyways, I will talk to you all later, and I hope you have a great day, week, or night. Whenever you happen to see this, I hope it was the best of whatever time that was.
Life's a show, and we all play our part. And when the music starts, we open up our hearts. It's alright if something's come out wrong. We'll sing a happy song, and you can sing